Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Yogah Karmasu Kaushalam.
Dear viewers, I am CS Dr. Yashri Dikshit. In today's session, I am going to discuss the participation of directors in a meetings of a board, committee of directors through electronic mode, conduct of poll and e-voting. So viewers, by the end of this session, you would be able to understand. Number 1. To understand the participation of directors in a meetings of board, committee of directors through electronic mode. Number 2. To explain the concept of conduct of poll. Number 3. To know about e-voting. Now, let's discuss the participation of directors in a meetings of a board, committee of directors through electronic mode. Section 173, subsection 2 provides the participation of directors in a meeting of the board may be either in a person or through video conferencing or other audio-visual means, which are capable of recording and recognizing the participation of the directors and of recording and storing the proceedings of such meetings along with the date and time. Video conferencing or other audio-visual means, audio-visual electronic communication facility employed which enables all the persons participating in a meeting to communicate concurrently with each other without an intermediary and to participate effectively in the meeting. As per Rule 3 of the Company's Meeting of Board and its Power, Rules 2014, a company shall comply with the following procedure for conveying and conducting the board meetings through video conferencing or other audio-visual means. Number 1. Every company shall make necessary arrangements to avoid failure of video or audio-visual connection. Number 2. The chairperson of the meeting and the company secretary, if any, shall take due and reasonable care, in which number 1. To safeguard the integrity of the meeting by ensuring sufficient security and identification procedures. Number 2. To ensure availability of proper video conferencing or other audio-visual equipment or facilities for providing transmission of the communication for effective participation of the directors and other authorized participations at the board meeting. Number 3. To record proceedings and prepare the minutes of the meeting. Number 4. To store for a safekeeping and marking the tape recordings or other electronic recording mechanism as a part of the records of the company at least before the time of completion of audit of that particular year. Next, to ensure that no person other than the concerned director are attending or have access to the proceedings of the meeting through video conferencing mode or other audio-visual means. And next, to ensure that participation attending the meeting through audio-visual means are able to hear and see the other participation clearly during the course of the meeting. Next, the persons who are differently able may make requests to the board to allow a person to accompany him. Number 3. The notice of the meeting shall be sent to all the directors in accordance with the provisions of subsection 3 of section 173 of the Act. Number 4. The notice of the meeting shall inform the directors regarding the option available to them to participate through video conferencing mode or other audio-visual means and shall provide all the necessary information to enable the directors to participate through video conferencing mode or other audio-visual means. Number 5. A director intending to participate through video conferencing or audio-visual means shall communicate his intention to the chairperson or the company secretary of the company. Number 6. If the director intends to participate through video conferencing or other audio-visual means, he shall give prior intimation to that effect sufficiently in advance so that company is able to make suitable arrangements in this behalf. Number 7. The director who desire to participate may intimate his intention of participation through the electronic mode at the beginning of the calendar year, and such declaration shall be valid for 1 calendar year. Number 8. In the absence of any such intimation, it shall be assumed that the director shall attend the meeting in person. At the commencement of the meeting, a roll call shall be taken by the chairperson when every director participating through video conferencing or other audiovisual means shall state for the record a name, b. the location from where he is participating. Number C. That he has received the agenda and all the relevant material for the meeting, and number D. That no one other than the concerned director is attending or having access to the proceedings of the meeting at the location mentioned in clause B. Number 9. After the roll call, the chairperson or the company secretary shall inform the board about the names of persons other than the directors who are present for the said meeting at the request or with the permission of the chairperson, and confirm that the required quorum is complete. Number 10. A director participating in a meeting through video conferencing or other audio-visual means shall be counted for the purpose of quorum unless he is to be excluded for any items of a business under any provisions of the Act or the rules. Number 11. The chairperson shall ensure that the required quorum is present throughout the meeting. Number 12. With respect to every meeting conducted through video conferencing or other audio-visual means authorized under these rules, the scheduled venue of the meeting as set forth in the notice convening the meeting shall be deemed to be the place of the said meeting, and all recordings of the proceedings at the meeting shall be deemed to be made at such place. Number 13. The statutory registers which are required to be placed in the board meeting as per the provisions of the Act shall be placed at the scheduled venue of the meeting, and where such registers are required to be signed by the directors, and the same shall be deemed to have been signed by the directors participating through electronic mode, if they have given their consent to this effect and it is so recorded in the minutes of the meeting. Number 14. Every participation shall identify himself for the record before speaking on any item of business on the agenda. Number 15. If a statement of a director in the meeting through video conferencing or other audio-visual means is interrupted or garbled, the chairperson or a company secretary shall request for a repeat or retiration by the directors. Number 16. If a motion is objected to and there is a need to put it to vote, the chairperson shall call the roll and vote. Note that each director who shall identify himself while casting his vote. Number 17. From the commencement of the meeting and until the conclusion of such meeting, no person other than chairperson, directors, company secretary and any other person whose presence is required by the board shall be allowed access to the place where any director is attending the meeting, either physically or through video conferencing, without the permission of the board. Number 18. At the end of discussion on each agenda item, the chairperson of the meeting shall announce a summary of the decision taken on such item along with the names of the directors, if any, who dissented from the decision taken by majority. Number 19. The minutes shall disclose the particulars of the directors who attended the meeting through video conferencing or other audio-visual means. Number 20. The draft minutes of the meeting shall be circulated among all the directors within 15 days of the meeting, either in writing or in electronic mode, as may be decided by the board. Number 21. Every director who attend the meeting, whether personally or through video conferencing or other audio-visual means, shall confirm or give his comment in a writing about the accuracy of recording of the proceedings of that particular meeting in the draft minutes within 7 days or some reasonable time as decided by the board, after receipt of the draft minutes, following which his approval shall be presumed. Number 22. After completion of the meeting, the minutes shall be entered in the minute book specified under section 118 of the Act and signed by the chairperson. Matters not to be dealt in meeting through video conferencing. Number A. The approval of the annual financial statements. Number B. Approval of the board's report. Number C. The approvals of the prospectus. Number D. The audit committee meetings for a consideration of financial statement, including consolidated financial statement, if any, to be approved by board under section 134 subsection 1 accounts. And E. The approval of the matter relating to amalgamation, merger, demerger, acquisition and takeover. Now we will discuss conduct of poll. At any general meeting, a resolution put to the vote of the meeting shall, unless a poll is demanded under section 109 or the voting is carried out electronically, be decided on a show of hands under section 107 subsection 1. Poll is a method of voting in which votes are cast by a member in a person or by a proxy in proportion to the number of shares held by him under section 47 subsection 1, provides that the voting rights of a member holding equity shares on a poll shall be in a proportion to his shares of the paid up equity capital of the company. This is governed by the principle one share, one vote, subject, however, to section 43, which provides for equity shares having differential rights as it to voting. Section 47, subsection 1, subsection B deals with the voting rights on a poll to be in a proportion with the paid up share capital held. In neither companies it shall apply, subject to the modification that no member shall exercise voting rights on a poll in excess of 5% of total voting rights of equity shareholders. Where a preference shareholder has a right to vote on any resolution, his voting right on a poll shall be in the same proportion as the capital paid up in respect of the preferential bears to the total paid up equity capital of the company under section 47 subsection 2. Memorandum or article of association of a private limited company can provide for a clause making section 43 and section 47 not applicable to that company. Similarly, memorandum or article of association of a specified IFSC public company can provide for a clause making section 43 and section 47 not applicable to that company. Section 109 subsection 4 stipulates that a time for taking a poll at a general meeting. When a poll is demanded on the question of adjournment of the meeting, or if it pertains to the resolution for election of a chairman of the meeting under section 109 subsection 3, it must be taken forthwith, that is, immediately after it is demanded. When a poll is demanded on any other resolution, the chairman should decide the time for taking a poll, and such poll should be taken within 48 hours from the time when the demand was made. In terms of section 109, the chairperson has a power to order a poll before or a declaration of result of a voting on his own motion. In case of a companies having a share capital, the members present or their proxies with 1/10 of voting power or a members holding not less than 5 lakh rupees may demand a poll before or in declaration of result. In case of a companies not having a share capital, the members present in person or by proxy having not less than 1/10 of the total voting power may demand poll before or on declaration of result. Once a valid demand for a poll has been received, subsection 2 of section 109 provides that those who have presented the demand may withdraw it at any time. However, the demand for a poll cannot be withdrawn once the chairman declares that a poll will be taken and adjourns the meeting for that purpose, fixing the time and hour of a poll. The chairman has a right to order a poll to be taken on any resolution either of his own motion or when it is validly demanded by one or more members. The chairman can order a poll before a resolution is put to the vote on a show of hands or on the declaration of the results of a voting by a show of hands. Regulation 54 of Table F, Schedule 1 provides that any business other than that upon which a poll is demanded can be proceeded with pending the conducting of the poll. Now we will discuss e-voting. Every company other than a company referred to in Chapter XB or Chapter XC of the Securities and Exchange Board of India, Issue of Capital and Disclosure Requirements Regulations 2009, having its equity share listed on a recognized stock exchange or a company having not less than 1,000 members shall provide to its members facility to exercise their right to vote on resolutions proposed to be considered at general meetings by electronic means. As per Rule 20 of the Companies Management and Administration Rules 2014, a company which provides the facility to its members to exercise voting by electronic means shall comply with the following procedure, namely: Number 1. The notice of the meeting shall be sent to all the members, directors and auditors of the company either by registered post or a speed post or through electronic means, namely registered email ID of the recipient or by a courier service. Number 2. The notice shall also be placed on the website, if any, of the company and of the agency forthwith after it is sent to the members. The notice of the meeting shall clearly state: Number A. That the company is providing facility for a voting by electronic means and the business may be transacted through the such voting. Number B. That the facility for a voting either through electronic voting system or ballot or a polling paper shall also be made available at the meeting, and members attending the meeting who have not already cast their vote by remote e-voting shall be able to exercise their right at the meeting. Number C. That the members who have cast their vote by remote e-voting prior to the meeting may also attend the meeting but shall not be entitled to cast their vote again. Next, the notice shall A. Indicate the process and manner for voting by electronic means. B. Indicate the time and schedule including the time period during which the votes may be cast by remote e-voting. Number C. Provide the details about the login ID. Number D. Specify the process and manner for generating or receiving the password and for casting a vote in a secure manner. Next, the company shall cause a public notice by way of an advertisement to be published immediately on a completion of a dispatch of notice for the meeting under clause 1 of subrule 4, but at least 21 days before the date of general meeting, at least once in a vernacular newspaper in the principal vernacular language of the district in which the registered office of the company is situated, and having a wide circulations in the district, and at least once in an English language in an English newspaper having country-wide circulation, and specifying in the said advertisement inter alia the following matters, namely: Number 1. Statement that the business may be transacted through voting by electronic means. Number B. The date and time of commencement of remote e-voting. Number C. The date and time of end of remote e-voting. Number D. Cutoff date. Number E. The manner in which the persons who have acquired shares and become members of the company after the dispatch of notice may obtain the login ID and password. Number F. The statement that number A. Remote e-voting shall not be allowed beyond the said date and time. Number B. The manner in which the company shall provide for a voting by members present at that meeting. And number C. A member may participate in the general meeting even after exercising his right to vote through e-voting but shall not be allowed to vote again in the meeting. And number D. A person whose name is recorded in the register of members or in the register of beneficial owners maintained by the depositories as on the cutoff date only shall be entitled to avail the facility of remote e-voting as well as voting in the general meeting. Number G. Website address of the company, if any, and of the agency where notice of the meeting is displayed. And H. Name, designation, address, email ID and phone number of the person responsible to address the grievance connected with the facility for voting by electronic means, provided that the public notice shall be placed on the website of the company, if any, of the agency. Next, the facility for remote e-voting shall remain open for not less than 3 days and shall close at 5 p.m. on the date preceding the date of the general meeting. Next, during the period when facility for remote e-voting is provided, the members of the company holding shares either in a physical form or in dematerialization form as on the cutoff date may opt for a remote e-voting, provided that once a vote on a resolution is cast by the member, he shall not be allowed to change it subsequently or cast the vote again. Provided further that a member may participate in the general meeting even after exercising his right to vote through remote e-voting but shall not be allowed to vote again. Next, at the end of the remote e-voting period, the facility shall forthwith be blocked. Next, provided that if a company opts to provide the same electronic voting system as used during remote e-voting during the general meeting, the said facility shall be in operation till all the resolutions are considered and voted upon in the meeting and may be used for a voting only by the members attending the meeting and who have not exercised their right to vote through remote e-voting. Next, the board of directors shall appoint one or more scrutinizer who may be chartered accountant in a practice, cost accountant in a practice, or a company secretary in a practice, or an advocate or any other person who is not in employment of the company and is a person of a repute who in the position of the board can scrutinize the voting and remote e-voting process in a fair and transparent manner, provided that the scrutinizer so appointed may take assistance of a person who is not in the employment of the company and who is well versed with the electronic voting system. Next, the scrutinizer shall be willing to be appointed and be available for the purpose of ascertaining the requisite majority. Next, the chairman shall at the general meeting at the end of discussion on the resolution on which voting is to be held allow voting as provided in clause A to H of subrule 1 of rule 21 as applicable with the assistance of scrutinizer by use of ballot or polling paper or by using an electronic voting system for all those members who are present at the general meeting but have not cast their votes by availing the remote e-voting facility. Next, the scrutinizer shall immediately after the conclusion of voting at the general meeting first count the votes cast at the meeting, thereafter unblock the votes cast through the remote e-voting in the presence of at least 2 witnesses not in the employment of the company and make not later than 3 days of the conclusion of the meeting a consolidated scrutinizer's report of the total votes cast in a favor or against, if any, to the chairman or a person authorized by him in a writing who shall countersign the same. provided that the chairman or a person authorized by him in a writing shall declare the result of the voting forthwith. Explanation: it is hereby clarified that the manner in which members have cast their vote, that is affirming or negating the resolution, shall remain secret and not available to the chairman, scrutinizer or any other person till the votes are cast in the meeting. Next, for the purpose of ensuring that the members who have cast their votes through remote e-voting do not vote again at the general meeting, the scrutinizer shall have access after the closure of period for remote e-voting and before the start of a general meeting to details relating to members such as their name, folios, number of shares held and such other information that the scrutinizer may require who have cast vote through remote e-voting, but not the manner in which they have cast their votes. Next, the scrutinizer shall maintain a register either manually or electronically to record the assent or dissent received, mentioning the particulars of name, address, folio number or client ID of the members, number of shares held by them, nominal value of such shares and whether the shares have differential voting rights. Next, the register and all other papers relating to voting by electronic means shall remain in the safe custody of the scrutinizer until the chairman considers, approve the signs, the minutes and thereafter the scrutinizer shall hand over the register and other related papers to the company. Next, the results declared along with the report of the scrutinizer shall be placed on the website of the company, if any, and on the website of the agency immediately after the result is declared by the chairman. Provided that in the case of the companies whose equity shares are listed on a recognized stock exchange, the company shall simultaneously forward the result to the concerned stock exchange or an exchange where its equities shares are listed, and as a stock exchange or exchanges shall place the result on its or their website. Next, subject to receipt of requisite number of votes, the resolution shall be deemed to be passed on the date of the relevant general meeting. Next, for the purpose of this clause, the requisite number of votes shall be the votes required to pass the resolution as the ordinary resolution or the special resolution as the case may be under section 114 of the Act. Next, a resolution proposed to be considered through voting by electronic means shall not be withdrawn. The result of the poll shall be deemed to be the decision of the meeting. The chairman is bound by the result of the poll under section 109 subsection 7. The result of poll once declared shall be final. The decision as declared by the chairman should be recorded in the minutes of the meeting. Article of Association of a private company may have specific provisions with the respect of demand for a poll under section 109. In case of a private company, section 109 shall apply unless otherwise specified in respective of sections or the articles of the company, provide otherwise MCA wide notification dated 5th June 2015. The poll is complete on the day when the result is ascertained and declared, and not when the voting is completed. So friends, let us summarize the session. We discuss number 1. Every company shall make necessary arrangements to avoid failure of video or audio visual connection. Number 2. A director intending to participate through video conferencing or audio visual means shall communicate his intention to the chairperson or the company secretary of the company. Number 3. Poll is a method of a voting in which votes are cast by a member in a person or by a proxy in proportion to the number of shares held by him. I hope this session would have made your concept for participation of directors in a meetings of a board, committee of directors through electronic mode, conduct of a poll and e-voting very clear. I hope you have enjoyed this session. Thank you.